morning everyone, it's Ryan with OCR Aviation. Today we are in Ontario, California with this 2022 Citation M2 Gen2. We got to take it over to Mesa, Arizona for some maintenance items to be done. Has a couple dock inspections. So jump in with us on this short flight, 50 minutes over to Mesa, and we'll see you in the air.
Alright, it's 26 right, or 8 right on the pavement. Alright, I got good spool up, 2 engines. I got takeoff thrust is set. Airspeed's aligned both sides. 70 knots, check 1, 2, and 3. Got V1, and rotates. Alright, it's positive rate. I got yaw damper, flat level change, climb power. Got 400 feet, there's flaps, and lights cover recog.
Citation 2 Tango Bravo, contact SoCal departure, good day.
Departure, 2 Tango Bravo, see ya.
822 Tango Bravo, SoCal departure, radar contact, call maintain 900,000.
Call maintain 900,000, 2 Tango Bravo. Alright, what's going on guys? We are up here cruise, heading to Mesa, Arizona. Currently at flight level 270. We'll be going down to 240 here in a minute. Just thought I'd tell you about this plane a little bit. This plane is based out in Ontario, California. It's a 2022 Citation M2 Gen2. It's a beautiful airplane. It's the most new current version until the Gen 3 comes out here pretty soon. But yeah, I do a lot of flying for this owner, and he loves the airplane. He's had the airplane for the past year and a half almost, and yeah, enjoys it. Does a lot of great business trips. It's a perfect airplane for him to travel to where he needs to travel for work. Let's get a little comparison on basically the M2 Gen 2 versus the classic original M2 that came out in 2013. So they started making the M2 in 2013, basically to replace the CJ1 Plus. They added the Garmin Avionics instead of the Pro line. They already had FADEC on the 1 Plus, brought the FADEC to the M2. But the biggest difference between the Gen 2 M2 and the original M2 is going to be they had a huge interior upgrade, so the interior looks fantastic. They have a lot of good options that you can do with the interior. They did some updated lights on the interior as well, wireless charging for your phones in the back, and some USB ports. And then up front, they did upgraded software version on the G3000 system, so everything moves way faster than the older M2s with the G3000. And what's awesome is you have Flight Stream 510 in this airplane, which allows you to basically go on a forward flight, put in your flight plan, and then send it straight to the panel. So you don't have to actually go in here and type every single point out and all that. So you can send flight plans to and from. You can load it from the panel to your phone, vice versa, which is awesome. And the awesome thing about this software upgrade on this G3000 is that you will be able, on all the Gen 2 M2s, you'll actually be able to get the auto throttle system that's supposed to be coming out later this year, as well as the auto land button as well. It's going to be a huge upgrade for customers that want that technology, because that technology's come in out of the factory in the M2 Gen 3. So that'll be a nice upgrade that I'm sure people are going to be looking forward to. I mean, this love flying this airplane. M2 is a very easy airplane to fly. The current owner has a huge interest in flying as well, and I know one day he's going to be flying left seat in this airplane. And yeah, the M2, the 525 line is a great line of airplane. You have 9 different variants of them, so one type rating can fly 9 different airplanes. It's got the straight Citation Jet, CJ1, 1 Plus, 2, 2 Plus, the M2, 3, 3 Plus, and the CJ4. The M2 is really one of the most perfect airplanes for owner-operators, owners that want to fly themselves. If they're not flying themselves, what their mission is really. And, the max range on this airplane is about 1,300 to 1,400 nautical miles, depending on how heavy you are. But I would say, you can take this airplane, fill it up, put 4 people in the back, and basically go 1,000 nautical miles. This airplane will easily make it to, Dallas, Houston, Denver. If you're going up north, you can make it up to Canada, Vancouver, all nonstop from Southern California, which is awesome.
What's the farthest you've taken an M2 so far?
The furthest I've taken an M2 so far is did a trip to Almere, New York, in White Plains in the M2. Yeah, that was a long trip. We had one stop on the way out. Went from Van Nuys to Des Moines, and then Des Moines to Elmira. And then coming back was a little tough. We had to do 2 stops, pretty strong headwind. Go White Plains to Chicago Executive, and then actually, yeah, 2 stops to Chicago Executive, and then we went to Centennial, Colorado, and then Centennial to John Wayne, or Van Nuys. So it's probably the longest trip I've done in the airplane. The other longer ones is going to like Opelika, Florida, Orlando. But there's always usually 2 stops coming back in this airplane. You know, if you get in the CJ3, it's usually 1 stop coming back, as well as the CJ4. And you can do nonstop, almost nonstop in the winter time with good winds in the CJ4, East Coast to Florida. Definitely depends on the winds though. Outside of that, you have to probably make a stop, especially in the CJ3.
On 4022, I appreciate it, but I got to slow you just a bit. Reduce.
Yeah, I mean, these airplanes are easy to fly.
It was
very,
on the 280 on my 42.
Garmin makes it very simple, especially if you're not a pro pilot. You can be a pro pilot as well as an owner pilot. But, you know, owner pilots, you know, they're coming from Cirruses.
Tango Bravo, traffic's about a mile behind you. Overtaking is a 737, currently at 290, will be descending to 1,000 feet above.
Alright, I'll look up front, 2 Tango Bravo.
And United 722, just want to verify we're flight level 350 now.
But yeah, Garmin makes this super simple for owner operators that want to fly this plane themselves. Garmin's very simplistic compared to the Proline systems that's in the CJ1 Plus, the CJ3, 2 Plus, and the CJ4, even though they're coming out with Garmin G3000 and the CJ4 Gen 3, which would be pretty awesome. Yeah, everything is, you know, it's a single pilot airplane. You can get the crew type rating as well, or you can go for the single pilot airplane or single pilot type rating, and yeah, it makes it just everything essential is all on this side of the aircraft. You have, I'm trying to look for that airplane.
Oh, I want to see it come out.
It's like right ahead of us up here. This airplane is super simple and efficient to learn as a owner operator, especially if those owners coming out of the Cirrus and even the newer one, the G7 Cirrus that has a G2000 suite. It's very similar to the G3000 suite with just -1 screen. And then even owners that are coming out, the newer TBMs, the newer M600 and 500 series, those have the G3000 suite in them too. So it's very easy to get used to that system and then hop in this airplane and get used to the system. Obviously, the big difference is you're flying a jet versus turboprop or piston. So energy management, speed, IFR regulations are. IFR regs need to be really on top of your flying and procedures. Not that you wouldn't be flying a Cirrus or Meridian or TBM, but everything moves a lot faster in these airplanes. So yeah, but Garmin makes it, like I said earlier, Garmin makes it super simple for people to learn this aircraft and all the avionics as well. But yeah, so
number 1 Victor Mike.
We should start our descent down here into Mesa in about 1 minute and 40 seconds. So we're gonna cross. We got an amendment to our route earlier. We're gonna cross T-Gold at 11,000 feet, and then we'll be direct to Mesa Airport. So pick up the ATIS real quick, so we know which runways are landing, and figure out how we're gonna get into Mesa.
Advise on initial contact. You have information, Lima.
All right. Got information, Lima, at Mesa Airport. We are landing, they're landing 1-2, so we're gonna land 1-2 center, I believe. Mesa has 3 massive runways. It used to be, I think, some kind of military base before, so all the runways are like 13,000 feet long, which is super cool when you're flying, 182s, trainer aircrafts, because you do a bunch of touch-and-goes on the same runway in one go-around, or one landing, essentially. Perfect, starting our descent. Yeah, we'll get back to you guys on the arrival and landing into Mesa. From the ATIS, expect to land runway 12 center. It's VFR conditions, so we're just going to put a visual approach in here. What's awesome is with this system, this G2000 system, you have the the 2 GTCs, which are basically like Garmin GTN 750s if you were in a piston airplane. But what you can do is put in the visual approaches into these airports, which is very convenient, where you don't have to always track an ILS or an RNAV. It'll give you just a 5 nautical mile final straight line out, and the only thing it doesn't do is give you terrain obstacle avoidance. So that's one thing to consider, especially I think the first time I went to Sun Valley, Idaho, we're coming in to land, it was VFR, so I put the visual approach into there, and I realized
Tango Bravo fighting 080 vector final approach course.
Alright, 080 for final approach course 2 Tango Bravo. But yeah, I realized that as I was trying to intercept that visual approach course on a vector, the extended center line just went straight into the mountain. So it's one thing to be aware of.
Contact approach on 124.9er.
2.9er, 2 Tango Bravo, yep.
Let's say 2 Tango Bravo, expect a visual approach, runway 12 center, clear direct to Gateway Airport.
Alright, we'll expect the visual approach 12 center, direct gateway 2 Tango Bravo. Just gotta be aware that you know, those visual approaches don't give you obstacle and terrain clearance. So just being aware, having good situational awareness when you're coming into airports doing visual approaches. And then one thing I've always stressed every time I do visual approaches in airplanes, whether it's a piston, turboprop, jet, I always turn the flight director off. And
3 Lima Lima, radar service terminated,
visually fly to the airport with the airplane. A lot of people get so sucked into all this avionics and all this stuff that helps you, guide you to the runway, but their skills with visual flying and visual approaches into the airport are subpar. So, I turn the flight director off because sometimes, people will be looking outside and then they come back and look inside and they realize the flight director is pointed somewhere else from where the airplane's going when they're hand flying it. So that can be a little confusing sometimes. I always turn the flight director off and try to, do a pattern entry if they're giving us a pattern, or overfly the airport midfield, join the downwind, or even if they're giving us vectors to the airport. So I always just try to hand fly it visually and keep the skills up, because not many people hand fly airplanes, I would say, even jets and commercial airliners, but for the people who do, props to them, because that keeps definitely
Number 3 Sierra Foxtrot, contact departure 119.2, I'll fire for you shortly.
XVIA Golf, hold short 12 right, 2750.
And Gateway Tower 2 Tango Bravo's visual 12 center, entering the right downwind.
Citation 882 Tango Bravo, Gateway Tower, descend to 3,100, extend downwind, tower close base.
Alright, 3,100, extend the downwind, and you'll call the base, 2 Tango Bravo.
685, right turn, Johnson Ranch, approved, altitude restrictions deleted.
Alright, so see the airport's right in front of us.
Gateway Tower, Cardinal 3361 Tango on Yankee, holding short of golf ready.
Cardinal 3361 Tango, Gateway Tower, taxi Citation 2 Tango Bravo, right base turn approved, traffic will be right base for the right and Archer, runway 12 center, clear to land, plan to exit again.
Alright, 12 center, clear to land, and we'll be on the lookout for the Archer 2 Tango Bravo.
Slightly hit to your left 1 mile, Citation 3,100.
We're traffic at type 321.
Gateway Tower, 2662.
Overshot a little bit, but
Lima,
not too bad. Goes Fox 35.
Stop and go. That's cap.
Traffic, 2 o'clock.
This is
Same
662, Gateway Tower,
altitude,
make our
less than
traffic
1
run
mile.
left.
Alright, we got 3 green, flaps 35. Landing light is on, and we're clear to land 12 center. We'll plan to roll out all the way at the end. Yaw dampers to go. Alright, yaw dampers away, autopilots away. 12 center on the pavement.
750, cross running 12 center, golf, hold short running 12 left.
Cross 12 center, golf, hold short 12 left, 2750.
So 833, Gateway Tower, taxi via golf, hold short running 12 right.
Gateway Tower 2646. With information, Lima 24 stop.
All right, guys, just landed in Mesa, Arizona, here at the Cessna Citation Service Center. Thanks for jumping in with us on that flight. Hope you enjoyed it on this 2022 Citation M2 Gen2. So we're gonna leave it here for a couple weeks for maintenance and come pick it back up in a couple weeks. Once again, thanks for jumping in, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.